Commissioner Derek DeGroot, could you raise your hand just so we can see that you're here now? All right. He had a lot of other important things going on, but he did make it and found some time for us, and he's been actively involved. The other person that I kind of skipped over was that I want to recognize Travis Medina as one of our team members here. He's been a big advocate for this community. You guys are very lucky to have him down here helping represent and get resources down here for us. And for us here in a lot of our meetings, he's been someone that's been a good voice and helped us out. So Travis, thank you. Next up, I'd like to introduce Captain Bryson from the Sheriff's Department.
Good evening. I'm Brian Bryson with Klamath County Sheriff's Office. The evacuation process that we started Saturday night, I think went really smooth. I've heard a lot of compliments from my guys, and it was all about the evacuation levels that you all did and the cooperation that we got. I think it went really smooth. We're obviously going to start out wide and then work back in. It's for safety of you guys. The evacuation levels are checked every day, multiple times a day, to see if we can shrink those, to see if they need to remain the same or if we can change them. Every morning at 9 we meet with the fire teams, and today we sent out a press release that we shrunk that just outside the black area. Now, one of the things that I would like to remind you guys is there's still lots of fire crews in there. Please don't drive over their fire hoses. You can get off the road a lot easier than some of these big engines, so keep that in mind. They've done, an outstanding job for you. I've seen these guys over the last few years several times. I think some of them might even have P.O. boxes here now. I'm not sure. They've been down here a lot. The fire crews, what they did on this fire is amazing. In the 15 years that I've been doing fire evacuations with search and rescue for the Sheriff's Office, I think this was one of the smoothest evacuations that we've seen, and that's because of the fire crews, my team on the deputies, and more importantly, you guys. And I want to thank you guys for that. So,
thank you, Captain Bryson. Next up, I'd like to introduce Klamath County Emergency Manager Mark Belcastro.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm Mark Belcastro with Klamath County Emergency Management. I'll try to keep this as brief as I can for you all. Can't thank these two teams and their resources enough for coming in here and helping us in our time of need. At this time, now we're starting to get into that. You heard they're winding this down, the response piece of it. Now comes the long piece, and we are, in terms of golf, we're getting ready for the long game, and that is recovery. There are people still recovering from bootlegs, so this is the long game. We're looking at years, not necessarily weeks or months. At this time, we brought in our state partners for recovery, Department of Health and Human Services, Oregon OEM Recovery, and our long-term recovery group. They'll be available to answer questions and to kind of get people registered. Next to the green ambulance over here, right next to them is a booth that DHS has set up so that they can get people registered. If you know you've lost a home or had damage on your property, make sure you register with them so we can get a list of everybody that is going to need help over the next, like I said, several, could be years. One other thing is this has not been a FEMA declared disaster. So FEMA will not be coming in. It is going to be our local community partners and our state partners that are going to be helping us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Next up, we have our PIO, Rachel Brovovich.
Good evening. I'm Rachel Brozovich, Public Information Officer for the State Fire Marshal. We know this is a challenging and stressful time for the community, and our hearts go out to you. We're so passionate about the work that we do, and we're so passionate about being here for the community. Our role is to be here for you and to provide the information that you need in a timely manner. We're committed to providing it to you as openly and honestly as possible as soon as we have that information available. Currently, information is available on INCIWeb and on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Golden Fire 2023. And we also have hard copies of the maps you see behind me, evacuation zones, and our daily updates. Those are available at the Red Cross Evacuation Shelter here, Cactus J, the post office, the general store, and then at the dairy diner as well. We'll be available for questions afterwards if you have any. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you, Rachel. Michelle Crane. Michelle's with the Klamath Lake Long-Term Recovery, COAD.